I'm Cliff Mitchell, and I am here to talk to you today about my analysis of Barnes & Noble using the Porter's Five Forces model. Um, the five forces are threat of new entrants, the bargaining power of buyers, bargaining power of suppliers, the threat of substitute products and services, and the intensity of competition among rivalry firms. First, the threat of new entrants. It was a few years ago relatively high with Apple's iPod and Amazon's Kindle, and Amazon coming out as the dominant online book retailer. Yet nowadays, I would say it's moderate, just because Barnes and Noble lacks certain entry barriers, or the book industry does in general. In terms of product differentiation, Barnes and Noble doesn't seem to have that brand recognition and loyalty that you would like to see. They just don't really attract customers and keep their customers very well. It truly doesn't take much to get started in the book industry. There are a lot of small independent bookstores, really manageable bank loans, small inventory. So it's not very hard to get into the industry, but I think to be a true competitor, you would have to do it on a much larger scale. But in doing that, you risk a strong reaction from the existing competitors in the industry. Switching costs for the consumer, they're very low. Prices of books across the retail book industry are relatively level. The bargaining power of the buyers. The buyer represents an important aspect in Barnes & Noble's business, and this is so for a number of different reasons. Buyers can easily find alternative suppliers, whether it's Hastings, Borders, Amazon, or other small independent bookstores. This gives them a high level uh, of power, allowing them to pit one company against the other. As mentioned earlier, also the consumer experiences low switching costs, allowing them to move from one company to the other without it really hurting their pocketbook very much. The bargaining power of suppliers. Retail book selling industry is really fragmented. Therefore, suppliers influence the prices, and the quality terms. The suppliers of the product, or the publishers, supply the, the books to the company, and this is essential for business. Without books, there is no bookstore. Favorable to the booksellers is the ability to return unsold books back to the publishers for full credit. Also favorable to retailing book industry is that publishers provide sufficient marketing promotional funds for new releases of books. Threat of substitute products. I mean, of course, you don't have to sit in your room and read a book or watch a movie. There, a wealth of outdoor activities, exercise, or whatever your heart's desire. Although the market is slowly becoming uh, an ebook market, ebooks are still considered a substitute until ebooks are the predominant way of reading books. Um, and then also people can simply buy books, used books, at places like half price bookstores, or uh, read free books through the public libraries. Rivalry amongst competitors. It is very high. There are numerous competitors in the retailing book industry, such as Borders, Books A Million, Hastings, and then of course all these small independent bookstores. Um, the retail book selling industry is certainly an experienced, mature, slow growth industry, making competition yeah, just a big fight for market share, since these firms are trying to expand sales. Again, the point of low switching costs also intensifies this rivalry, as price competition, or competition on the basis of price, becomes more and more important. In summary, uh, efficient environmental monitoring is a must. You have to know what your competitors are doing all the time. A, uh, a big competitive issue arises when the buyers and sellers of a product hold a high level of power over the company, and this is very true in the retail book industry. Um, uh, this is really going to be an issue regardless of what Barnes and Noble tries to do. Leisure activities that could be done um, are numerous. Ebooks are steadily growing, and then the fact that the retail book industry is a slow growth industry, and it has been experiencing a large decline in profits since around 2000. My recommendations for Barnes & Noble is to focus on cost leadership, reducing costs, and increasing efficiency in the overall value chains activities of the industry. The second would be using a focus strategy, focus on a particular market segment, whether you want to go with your current stance, which are your brick and mortar stores or move to the Nook, which it would take a total revamping of the company, but the big deal is finding that niche that is more profitable. That is all. Thank you.